God, it hurts so bad. The kid must be like, what the fuck are you doing? You keep running into these spikes. What's up with that? It's a slow progress, but eventually one that will yield justice. Okay, now we wait for Dickie McDickerson to go by. Scratch my armpit. Yay! Ho! Ho hum. Just another day in paradise. And by paradise, I mean pair of spikes. That was not a very good pun, but whatever. I still really like the sound that makes. It's like, brrr. Very cool. That's so funny. I'm not crying. No. It's actually legitimate laughter there. Even though crying and laughing can sometimes sound the same to me. With me, sorry. There you go. It's funny, if you fall off at something, you don't get a double jump, you just get a single jump. But if you actually like jump and then jump, I'm gonna do this. I'm not giving up. You think I can? You think I can give up? Nah. Da 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 da. That's what I hate more than anything. I can handle dying to like moving spikes and stuff like that, but it's dying to sedentary spikes that don't mean me any harm that really annoy me. You see, like that. And that. It's just infinitely irritating. You know what? Just to take my mind off of it, I'm going to tell you guys about another dream that I had. It's a little bit odder, I guess you'd say, than the other one. Okay. Let me see. How do I set this up? Okay. So, it was kind of like I was dreaming about watching TV. God, I must be watching too much TV. But it was like we were following around a TV personality, and it was Kramer from Seinfeld, and he was like walking down the streets of New York, and he came to like this big like rubbish bin, like a whole bunch of trash cans piled together. A whole bunch of trash cans piled together, and it had like something in it. Like you kind of tell there was something bigger than everything else in the rubbish pile. And he like goes up to it and he starts like poking it and kicking it, you know, all the weird Kramer stuff. And actually, I never really liked Seinfeld up until about maybe 3 months ago. I hadn't really watched it ever before. I still don't like Friends. Friends still bugs the crap out of me. I can't stand that show, even now. Seinfeld is annoying because you have to take commercial breaks. I can watch that show if it's like all in one go, but it really fucking annoys me when it's like, you know, I'm into the story, I'm into what George and everybody else is doing, and then we go to commercial break, and I just get so like out of the moment that I can't, like, it's so much easier, or like so much better for the storyline to me to watch it on DVD, because I went to the library and they actually had a season of Seinfeld on DVD, and I watched it, and it was pretty fucking good. But anyway, anyway, Kramer was like poking this big wooden block thingy. It was maybe about half the size of a car. He like kicks it and kicks it, and it's like pure solid oak. It's really fucking wooden. And he like kicks it in the right way, and it like folds out. And eventually it kind of like, it folds outwards, like widthwise, and then it like tips on its side, and then it extends like these two big fucking arm thingies. And it turns out it's like a wooden version of, like, you know, in World War II where they had like the big gun turrets on planes? They're like, do, like that. Well, you can't see my arms right now, but imagine if you put your arms out and then for each do, you like pull one arm in and then put it back out. That's the kind of motion that I'm making right now. But yeah, it was like one of those things, but it was like made out of wood. And he like touches it, and he pushes like a button on it, and it does it like doo, and it like shoots something, but it's like air, and he just like he spends the rest of the day like shit. He spends the rest of the day like shooting air at everybody. Like he blows this one girl's skirt up, and he like knocks this other guy's hat off, and he like actually flips over a car. Like he can like dial up how much air he wants. It's really interesting. And I usually don't have dreams like that. It was really fucking weird. I don't know. So that's my other dream that I had. But that other one about the lady was really, really way more intense. This one was kind of just like a side dream, I guess you'd say, like maybe a transition dream. Bum bum bum. Yeah, there. It's nice to hear the whole tune once in a while. Can you imagine if you had to wait around and hear that the whole time? Actually, does this game have a death counter? I don't think so. It should. Well, it's kind of bittersweet in the way that it does and it doesn't, because on the one hand you can kind of compare yourself to other people, like, oh, I only died blah 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 times, or like, I only died blah 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 times on this part, and you died blah 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 times on that part, and like, total, I died this many times. But at the same time, if your score gets really up there, it can really fucking piss you off, because, trust me, I had an experience with I Want to Be the Star. It had the death counter right up on the top. Like, right in the top right-hand corner. Constantly there, constantly reminding you of how much you suck. God, finally back to here? Bittersweet. I probably don't have to wait for this thing to go by, but I've died twice mid-air. And I don't trust it. I hope this is the right way I'm supposed to be doing it. I'm going to be very irritated if it is the wrong way. Quite irritated. Ow. That hurt my pride a little bit. Actually, this whole game kind of hurts my pride, really. How long have we been stuck at this part? That's funny, though, is like when I watch these back and I say, like, oh, how long have we been stuck at this part? It feels like an hour and a half. Usually it's only like 20 minutes to 30 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes. It just feels so much longer. Because you actually have to put in the soul-crushing effort. Getting closer. Look at this optimistically. Because I don't like when I get super fucking pissed off like I did last time. Look at that! It has like an invisible spike above it. Did you see that? I died mid-air. As we were passing paths, it killed me. What the fuck? Come on. Come on then, mate. It's just a wallaby, no worries. That goes out to all the Australian mates. I'm sure none of them actually really talk that way over there. It's funny how certain stereotypes are, like, acceptable. Like, when you see, like, an Australian guy on TV, they usually have, like, the Crocodile Dundee hat, you know, the accent. They're always around koalas or some shit. I don't know if it's true. I've never been to Australia. I've actually never been out of the United States, to be honest. I know some people are like, oh, I'm going to Paris to study abroad. And I was like, I'd like to go study some broads in Paris, but I don't have the money. No, not just for the flight over there either. No, you see. Super happy fun times. I knew it. I knew it. What did I say? At least we've confirmed it. And knowledge is power. G.I. Joe. Scratch my nose for G.I. Joe. Actually, I heard they are, speaking of 80s cartoons and alike, I heard they're actually bringing back the Thundercats. Yeah. Although it's kind of disappointing. I actually saw the guy who does the main guy. I saw the main guy who does, or the guy who does, like, the main character's voice, Lion-O. He's like, he kind of looks like he would have been, like, a big football player back in his day, and he's kind of gotten, like, I don't know. He looks like a coach. He looks like a coach. It's pretty funny. And actually, they were playing some old Thundercats cartoons. And I do remember watching Thundercats when I was quite younger. God, I must have been like... I think it was an 80s cartoon, and they reran it in the 90s. Because I was born in 93. So... I don't know. I must have been like 4, maybe 5 when they re-aired all that shit. I don't know. That's about the time when I'd be paying attention. But I like Thundercats, although the main character, or the main villain in that, Munra, was really fucking scary for his time. And I look back at it, I watched, because they were replaying a lot of the old episodes, and he legitimately is pretty fucking scary. He's like a rotting mummy, and it's really fucking creepy. I know he's blue, but still, he's really fucking creepy. It's kind of like, back in the day, cartoons could be creepy like that. Like, if you ever watched the animated version of The Hobbit, that is pretty fucking creepy. You see how they portray Gollum, whatever his fucking name is. How the hell? Really, like, sinewy, like, skin's kind of like hanging off and like ropes kind of thing. Very, very scary. At least looking back on it now. That's why I've been desensitized to stuff like this, because it's just funny to me how everybody blames everything on video games. And I'll admit, video games do touch a couple very weak-minded individuals out there. That's what I'll call them. Weak-minded individuals. If they weren't going to be influenced by violent video games, they would just find some way to be violent somewhere else. Like, I think the Columbine guys were big Doom players, and everybody attributed them doing the shootings to that. And it may have had a factor. I'm not saying that it didn't, but I will say that those were already pretty damn twisted minds. What the fuck? How do you do this? Maybe I have to jump past that one, because that one looks like it's moving really fucking fast, so maybe I have to jump past that one, hit the next one. Like, see the last two spikes? Rather than jumping in that area, maybe I have to jump, like, bump, bump. Okay, I think I might see the way how they want me to do it. Come on, I want to get out of here. Nice that none of these move. None of them move, but I still get fucking killed on them. You see, even though it's like repetitive content, I'm still trying to like recycle, like, oh, you know, interesting topics, interesting topics. I hate it when people go, damn, died again. Let's try to move this bike. Damn, didn't do it. Let's go back. It's so boring. Come on, if you can't find anything to say, why are you commentating? Good lord. No comment, even though I am a commentator. You know what game I've actually been wanting to play again for a while, or get back into, is Super Meat Boy. Because I love Super Meat Boy, but the thing is, recording it is a bitch. Because when I first upload it, it's full screen, but then it goes into that weird ass like the big huge like box around the main like video. YouTube's really fucking weird that way. Like, some things will be fine. Some things will be fine and dandy, and I'll just upload it and it'll be full screen. And I hate bringing notice to this, but it's sometimes just so hard not to notice. It's like, how do you not notice this crap? But anyway, like, you could still see Super Meat Boy. You can still see it, but it's so much better and more like engaging if it's full screen. I don't mean like you guys full screen it. I mean if it's like actually taking up all of the like YouTube screen, and it's not like a big fucking black box around it. But the thing is, if I readjust the screen size, it lags out, because my computer can handle Super Meat Boy, no problem. My computer can handle Serious Sam and all that shit, no problem. Portal 2, no problem. It's just that Fraps is such a fucking fat asshole. He's a fat asshole, Fraps is. He just comes over to your house, he eats up all your Doritos. You know, you're kind of saving those Doritos for, like, over the next couple days. It's a brand new pack, he just gobbles them down. Fat ass. You know, that's the other thing. I don't mind if you are a little bit chubby or fat. I don't care. I don't care if you're fat. I care if you have the tendencies of somebody who eats more than what they need. That's the only definition of fat ass that I like to use. Because sometimes it's weird how society goes like, oh, what a fat ass, blah, blah, blah. Like it's a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing. It really isn't. That's the whole thing. Personally, I think everybody should have at least 15 pounds of emergency weight. Just in case they get trapped in like a car or like, in fact, I think I was reading a story about like Japan, how this one like kid and his grandmother had to live off like Pop-Tarts for like 8 days. You know, excuse me, Grandma, but if I didn't have my 15 pounds of emergency weight, you would be out the fucking door and I would be eating all those Pop-Tarts myself. Just be glad I'm not eating you, Grandma. God. Oh, cannibalism. See, we tackle tough subjects here in IG1 Central. We ask the hard, difficult questions. We don't say merely mortal questions. No, we ask the difficult, tough questions. For example, if you could go back in time and change anything, would you? Anything at all? Personally, I think we've done fine far enough. We haven't killed each other quite yet. I think no matter what, we're going to end up killing each other. No matter what, it's a matter of time. You could say like, oh yeah, we should go back and kill Hitler. But what if Hitler killed somebody that would end up being even worse? That's all I'm going to put out there. What if by killing Hitler, we accidentally create a mega Hitler? You never know. But then again, on the same spectrum, what if by killing Hitler, we save the guy who cures cancer? But because that guy cured cancer, now an asshole who plans to like blow up the world doesn't have cancer anymore and he doesn't die. Yeah. You think about that? I'm the asshole with cancer who keeps dying. God damn it. But you see, even though we're going to be here for quite a while, I can tell we've already been here for like 20 minutes. We're still tackling tough subjects, and I'm still commentating very somewhat interestingly. Hold on, I need to stop the recording because it has a little bit of lag.